New Zealand. Hope you're all having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to where am I at? Porchlight Letters podcast number 2505. Today, one wrong assumption. One wrong assumption, yes, can send research down the wrong family line for years. Trust me. How do I know this? I'm still cleaning up a mess from 26 years ago. So, yeah, about that. But yes, so let's have a look at one assumption can send research down the wrong family line for years. The wrong family line will end up with wasted time, missed ancestors, conflicting reports, frustration, years of confusion. When you're on the right family line, there's clear connections, accurate records, new discoveries, family stories are found, and it's a lasting legacy. The story is worth getting right. Question, verify, confirm. Every details matter. Get it right and you'll uncover the true story. And one wrong assumption in genealogy can send research down the wrong family line for years, and it happens more often than people realize. You've heard the story over the past few episodes that we have done where I made a wrong assumption. I added a family tree into my tree way back when Ancestry first started and you could first copy trees into your tree, and it ended up blowing up my tree, and there was a lot of generations in there that I wasn't expecting, that it basically copied across the whole tree into my tree. And I'm still untangling that mess to this day. I'm having to go back through my dad's father's line, through the Eakins line, and basically go back to around the time the error was made and question everything, reconfirm all the information that I have. And if I don't confirm it, it's out. I will detach it from the tree. I don't delete it out of the tree. I can detach it from the tree so that it's not having an impact on the main tree. And so I have lots of mini trees in there that need to find a home, and eventually the mini trees will be gone and there'll be one big tree. So and things like two people with the same name are assumed to be the same person. No. Jeepers, for some reason I can't lift my arm today. Make a chart, get an Excel spreadsheet, put the name of one person in one, the name of the other person in one, and then put all their details like their births, their deaths, their marriages, their kids, put them all there so you can compare them side by side. Are they the same people? Is there places where they cross over, or are there places where they are completely different and in separate lines and things? That is a good way to sort out, to make sure that you've got one in my tree is in my mother-in-law's tree. She has the surname Little. Little is a name that married the daughter of Richard Warren. And I can't think of his first name. I think it's Isaac. Is it Isaac? I think it's Isaac. But anyway, my grandmother is supposedly the 9th great-granddaughter of Richard Warren, and we're working on proving that. We come across the last name of Little. Little is a very common name. And I'm pretty sure it was an Isaac Little that married the daughter of Richard Warren. And then she descends down through that line. So we're trying to find the right Littles. She had a grandfather or a grandfather who was David Little. But we had to make sure we had the right one, because there happened to be two David Littles with the same middle name that were born around the same time and in the same area, but they were two different people. So we had to do the chart. We did the chart. We put one into one column, one into the other column. We put in the details that we knew of her David Little. We found details for the other David Little. We then found a third set of details, which we put in. It wasn't a third person. It belonged to one of the other two. And then we started doing comparisons and asking questions and proving the questions and things till we found the right David Little that fitted into her tree. And we made sure that the other person's information was not in her tree. This happened with another client of mine when I was checking theirs. Her great-grandfather, was born in New York State, in the same county as another person with the exact same name, first name, middle name, last name. You'd think it was the same person. And here's the kicker. These two guys were two separate guys, born around about 6 weeks apart in the same county with the same mother's first name. The mother's first name was the same. Their father's names had the same last name, but different first names. So we had to separate them, and we didn't find that that era until we came across a obituary where it found out that he was married to this woman, and was sort of like, that's not the woman he was married to, because we knew the woman he'd been married to and who he got divorced from, and we'd found their marriage certificate and record and stuff, and we knew that because we knew what her grandmother's name was, but this was a completely different person, completely different. Was it Geraldine or Gertrude? It was one of those, either Geraldine or Gertrude. And the mother's name was Geraldine or Gertrude. It's one of those two G names. And so then I had to start picking everything to pieces and verifying everything. Again, making the spreadsheet, putting them up side by side, and finding out which facts belonged with which one. And you might say, well, hang on, if they divorced and he got married again. No. They got married. One of them got married before the other and kept that wife all throughout his life. That's how we know that there were two different ones. The other one got married after the first one got married, and they were married between census dates. So they were not on the 1831 census as America. They got married after 1930, after 1931, but they were divorced before 1941. The other couple, the other person with the same first, middle, and last name, he got married before 1931, and I can follow him through the census reports up until his death. So that's how we found that. We didn't actually find the second one until we found his mother's death notice, his obituary, and I'm reading through that and going, this is not the same person. This is a different person. And that's when we went back and started checking the facts, and that's when we made the comparison chart, and it was very obvious that they were two different people. But they were born about 6 weeks apart in the same county. Both mothers were named either Gertrude or Geraldine, but their husbands had different first names but the same last names, and we never did find if there was a connection between the two fathers, if they were cousins, brothers, anything like that. We didn't go that deep because we were just trying to keep it on this one person. So don't make assumptions, because it can really screw your thing up. On an online family tree copied without verification, like I did 20-something years ago, still cleaning it up today. A record seems close enough. Oh yeah, that's about the right time when they were born. Keep asking the questions, keep verifying the information. Do up an Excel spreadsheet. Have them listed across the names across the top, put their different birth dates in there, the different place names and everything else. Especially if they were kind of similar, close enough, and as you start tracking each person and finding the information, you're going to see that there's a clear definition between them. If a family story is accepted without evidence, that can screw things up as well. I had a friend I'm working on her tree right now, and she said that this particular person in her tree was rumored to be a twin. We're currently 98 to 99% sure that she did have a twin, because we found her brother on the census report that was the same age. And on the census reports where they are together, they both have the same ages. We found their tombstones that had the exact same birth date on them. We just want the birth certificates to verify. We need to get hold of the birth certificates to verify, because on a birth certificate for twins, it will have one of two or two of two based on the order that they were born in. And so we need that, and that's going to seal it as definite. We've got all this other information that implies that. We've got the Social Security death, which has their same birth dates on them. They were born in the same place. They were in the same household. So we have census reports from after they were born until they got married and went off on their own separate ways. But when they were in the house with their parents, they had the same age. So there's that. We've got the same birth dates on their tombstones. We've got the Social Security death index indicates that they both had the same birth dates. So there's all this evidence piling up that shows that these brother and sister were actually twins. We just want the birth certificate where it'll say twin one of two, twin two of two. We just want that confirmation. Once we get that, we're golden. But we're pretty sure that we have it right, but we're not leaving anything open. We are verifying as much as we can. At first, the research appears to fit, until eventually dates stop making sense, location conflicts, DNA results don't align, and entire branches become questionable. Oh, yes, this has happened. And I see it so many times on so many trees. Like when you're on Ancestry and they give you a hint that this tree over here matches your tree. I go into that tree and I have a look. I do not copy it into my tree. I learned that lesson a long time ago. But when I'm going through, I am finding so much misinformation in some of these trees. And I'm like thinking, oh, and people are accepting this information as gospel because it's in somebody else's tree. Please don't do that. Use it as a guide. If you're going to use it as a guide. One thing that I do when I look at another person's tree that has the person in their tree that's in my tree is I go and look at their sources. What sources do they have? I have come across so many that have 0 sources. And I'm like, well, I ain't trusting anything in there at all. I want sources. And then I will go in there, and those that have sources, I'll go and have a look at their sources. And even some of the sources have been misassigned. They've accepted information that is not for that particular person. And this is why experienced genealogy researchers learn to slow down, because it is a marathon, not a sprint. And we verify everything. This is why we're saying these twin siblings, twin brother and sister, may be twins. We're still saying maybe, even though we are like 98% sure, until we can get those birth certificates to like put the seal on it. We are not making any assumptions. We are like 98% sure. We just need that birth certificate for that last little bit. Good research is built on evidence, not assumptions. Questions that matter. Does the timeline actually work? Are the ages realistic? And when we ask ages realistic, there are times that I have looked at some family trees and the mother is like 11 years old when the baby was born. I'm like, that just doesn't ring. And I had that on a tree that I was looking at. I was doing some research for somebody on a particular family, and they kept saying, well, this is the mother. And I looked at it and I went, that can't be the mother. They go, why not? I said, because we're looking at a census report, and this is another way why you do not make assumptions. The father was listed as the head of the house. Then there was his wife. Now, the thing with census reports is that the relationship is, what is your relationship to the head of the house? People make an assumption that, oh, here's the head of the house, here's his wife, these are their children. Because if people make that assumption, you got to look at the ages. The wife in this particular case, we had the husband listed as head of the house. His wife would have been like 10 or 11 when the son was born. I was like, that doesn't fit. So that got me thinking, is this his first wife, or is this another wife that he had, and that his son is actually has a different mother? So I went and started researching and found the husband's original marriage certificate. He was on his second wife. His first wife had passed away, and he got married again. And the son was from the first union, the first marriage. Even though on the census report it had head of the house, it had wife, it had son. Do not make the assumption that the son is the son of the wife. Definitely the son of the father, because he's the head of the house, but not necessarily the son of the wife. So check those things. That's where age comes into it. Check the ages. Are they realistic? Is there evidence connecting these people? If you've got the side-by-side thing and it's mirroring every fact, then yeah, they probably could be the same person. Keep asking questions. Is there any evidence that shows that this is the same person? Are there multiple people with the same name in the same area? Yes, I have come across that so many times. And that's where these comparison charts come in very, very handy, is to go through and check that. What records support this conclusion? And when you come to your conclusion, what records do you have? What evidence do you have that supports your conclusion? What sources are you showing that supports that these siblings are actually twins? Even though everything that's going along, do you have that birth certificate? Yes, someone shows that they are one of two or two of two. They're twins. And then here's the other records that support that. Don't just rely on one record. You've got to have multiple records. Genealogy is not about building the fastest family tree. Remember, it is a marathon, not a sprint. It is about building the most accurate one possible. You can't just sit there and go, oh, this is the right one. Click, 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 click. You'll end up in all sorts of trouble. I have errors like that from day one. Especially this one where I just stuck a whole I didn't realize it was going to download the whole tree. I thought it was just going to download the information on the person I was researching at the time. But no, it downloaded this whole other thing. It downloaded the siblings of the mother, of the father, all of their children, and then the parents as well, and the grandparents. And I'm sort of like, yee. And it wasn't until later on that I realized that it was incorrect. And now I'm having to go back and unwind all of that. Because every incorrect assumption has the potential to lead research away from the real story. And the real story is worth getting right. Trust me, it is. I don't know where is it? On my bookcase, this book right here, this fat book here. This is called, what's it called? Evidence Explained. It's that black book there with the gold writing on it. It's about this thick. That book has in there how you cite sources. If you've ever been a librarian and you used to have to do the card catalog thing, it's exactly the same format. So you can use that library. So if you used to be a librarian and you remember doing the card catalogs, it's basically the same format as what we put on the cards for the card catalog. Just a little tidbit from me on that one. But anyway, that's it for us from us for today. Go through, and if you've got people in your tree that you're not 100% sure about, create a side-by-side thing in an Excel spreadsheet or a Google Sheets where you put the name at the top and then you have all of their information, their birth dates, their locations, their marriage dates, their locations, who they got married to, when they got married, all the dates. Make sure when were they born, where were they born, when did they get married, where did they get married, who did they get married to, when did they die, where did they die. Put all of that information in each person's column, even the cemetery, where are they buried. Put that information in there as well. That is your task for today, to take one relative that you're not 100% sure about and see if there's somebody else with a similar name and do a side-by-side comparison with them. If you want help with that, just go up here and scan this QR code. This QR code right here. I'm getting really good at doing this. And I'm looking up here for it. Scan that QR code, book a 30-minute discovery call with us, and let's get you started on ensuring that you have the right people in your tree. Go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m.